Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I have something here today that I am super excited about. This is the EB70 from BLUETTI. It's a 716 watt hour, 700 watt portable power station. Kind of like the other ones I've reviewed, only this is a larger one, so it's going to be a lot better for a lot of needs where you want to go out and you want to run something for a long time, like a mini fridge, fans, things while camping. If your house runs out of power, this would be the perfect setup. They also make a lot of different sizes in this, but this is the 700. We're going to check it out, take it and unbox it, and see what's here and see what we can hook up to it. All right, so first thing we'll do is get this box open. So I definitely have not opened this. I have not looked at it, so I'll kind of be learning along with showing you about the features on it, because I absolutely do not know. So here it shows a picture on the front here. Right here it says 100 to 120 volt AC charging. Steel gray is the color of this one. You can also get it in this, looks like carmine. I think it's kind of a red. And then they also have a mint green. So you can get this in different colors. So on the specs on the front here, it shows this is the EB70, 716 watt hour. 22.4 volt DC, 32 amp hours. It is 12 to 28 volts, DC, 8 amp, 200 watts. So if you have a 200 watt solar panel, you're going to charge this a lot faster than using, like I have a 100 watt and a 120 watt solar panel, which will still charge it. Just be a little bit slower than a 200 watt would be nice. And they do offer a 200 watt, 700 watts, 1400 watt surge, which means, but if you plug something in and it actually goes up in wattage, that's fine. You got pretty much double the wattage. Of course, then it will go back down. It won't actually handle 1400 watt, but that's the surge. 100 to 120 volt AC. So it has a little power supply in there that will charge it up. You can charge it up on the AC, or you can charge it up by solar. You can charge it up by 12 volt DC. The outputs is 5 volt DC, 3 amp. So it also has a 5, 9, 12, 15 volt, 20 volt, 3 amp, 20 volt DC, 5 amp, M-Mark chip built in. It also says 12 volt DC, 10 amp. So let's take this thing out of the box and look at it. First thing inside, of course, looks like it's probably going to be our manual, I would imagine. This is a keep power supply out of the direct sunlight. It may be because a lot of times the displays on these, if you ever had a phone or something laying out in the direct sunlight, how it does the display, you wouldn't want this sitting out in the direct sunlight. Always try to keep it in the shade too, to keep it cool. The cooler it is, the longer the battery is going to last. 716 watt portable power supply. Little booklet tells you about what all the outputs are. Tells you about how to charge it. Different things you can charge it with, like the solar. Tells you about the LCD screen and frequently asked questions. So on the general specifications, we'll just kind of go over some of these. Typical capacity, 760 watt hours. It did say lithium ion on the box, but on here it does say it has a LiFePO4 battery, which is actually a lot better than the standard lithium ion batteries, especially for one of these. And net weight is around 21.38 pounds. So it does have some heft to it, but the bigger the power supply you get, the more weight you're going to have, of course. Storage ambient temperature, 32 to 113 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the output specs of all the outputs, which is something that you really need to know. So the AC side is 100 to 120 volt AC. There's 4 of those jacks. On the 5 volt side, the USBs, there's 2 of those, 5 volt, 3 amp. And then we got the USB type C, which is max 100 watts. So that's the one that has the 5, 9, 12, 15, and 20, 3 amp, 20 volt DC, 5 amp. So this is the one like you would charge if you have a MacBook or something that's USB-C, or a laptop that would be USB-C. This would be real great to charge something like that up with. It also has a cigarette lighter adapter, comes with it, 12 volt DC, 10 amp, 120 watt. So it has a DC outlet here, looks like a 5521, 2 of those that are 12 volt DC, 10 amp, 120 watts. It also has wireless charging on the top of it, so that's another cool feature. I like that. You can just lay your iPad or your iPhone or whatever on top to charge wirelessly. It tells about the input specs. So if you're charging with a car, it takes about 3 to 4 hours at 24 volt, about 7 to 8 hours at charging it at 12 volt. And then your AC adapter, your solar charging or generator charging, 12 to 28 volt, 200 watt. It takes about 3 to 4 hours. Down here on the specs, it also tells us that a smartphone, around 50 to 60 times you can charge a smartphone. LED light bulb, 20 to 30 hours at 20 watts. A television, 7 to 8 hours at 75 watts. Electric tools, around 7 to 8 hours at 80 watts. A refrigerator, around 6 to 7 hours at 90 watts, which my refrigerator doesn't take that much, my portable one. A bigger refrigerator would. Slow cooker, around 2 to 3 hours at 200 watts. So in here, looks like we probably have the power supply, I'd imagine, for charging it. Then we do. Here's the big transformer. It's actually a big unit. This will be the part that's going to plug into the BLUETTI. And then right here is where our 110 volt cord would go. And right here is the 110 volt cord, so we can plug it right in here like that, plug this into a 110 outlet. Then it looks like we have our 12 volt charger, so it's a nice, really well built stuff here. And then it has the jack that plugs into the BLUETTI, the same as this one right here. That way we can charge it from 12 volt from your car. And then we have, of course, our solar panel connector and then a little tie strap, looks like. All right, so we'll remove some foam here. Pull it up out of here. And here it is, man, that is a good looking unit right there. So on the front here, you can see really nice, says the BLUETTI label right here. This is that gray color, which really looks good. We have the 2 USBs right here, standard USBs. Right here we have the 2 USB-Cs. Right here we have 2 12 volt accessory outlets. Then we have a lighter plug outlet, so if you want to plug in, you can even put more USBs if you have one in here, adapter, to run more USBs. Or run something off just 12 volts. Then we have actually 4 of the 110 outlets. Now some of these are the 3-prong, the 2 of them, and 2 of them are just the 2-prong 110. Then right here we have our input, which is where our charger would go. So we'll take it, plugs in just like that. And it would be exactly the same thing with our 12 volt charging right here. So we plug it in, plug that into your accessory outlet in your car. And then right here we have a light. So it looks like we power it on by pushing this button here. Turn the light on. You can see it has different modes here. It has a SOS, on, bright, SOS, off. Super cool looking display here. Check out that display. Actually one of the best displays I have seen, a lot better than the JACKERY that I have. Click this button here. This will turn on our AC outlets. Hey, you click this button here, this will turn on all of your DC outlets, so your USBs and your 12 volt outlets. So click that button. This goes off after a certain amount of time just to save energy. But if you push one of your buttons again, you can see your display. And it shows, of course, our input is 0 watts and our output is 0 because we have nothing connected to it, charging, or nothing going out of it. This handle is extremely nice. I really like the flat top on this instead of being like the JACKERY that has the big handle coming up here, which makes it where it's fine and it's a good handle, but it's just, you can't put nothing on top of it. And one super cool thing about this is having the charger up here, so I can just lay my cell phone on there and charge it. It's already charging. If you guys can see that, hopefully. Take it off. Turn it off here. Lay it right on there. You can see right there, 76% charge, so it's charging up right now. Just that easy. And this is actually with a UAG case on it, so it's charging even through the case. But this handle is really nice. I like how it folds down. It actually has a rubber pad in the back of the handle. I don't know if that's actually for comfort. I would say that's more for when this drops down. Instead of making a loud clicking sound, it makes it a soft when it shuts down. So very nice handle to hold this thing up. Really, really good looking case. Okay, so on this side right here, looks like we have our fan, and I'm sure this would be the fan intake. You can see the little fan there, because this fan will keep it cooler. Like I said, the cooler you keep it, the longer your battery is going to last. And this is a low amperage fan. And then on this side, we have the air outlet. So the fan sucks it in this side, blows the warm air out this side to keep it cool. And then on the back, of course, we have our logo showing all of our information about the BLUETTI. But this is an extremely cool unit. We're going to hook some things up to it and just see what this thing will run. We first might want to check and see how much it's charged up. So if you look at this display right here, it shows it's 80% charged. 20% is the first one, 40%, 60%, 80%, and then I'm sure the top one, which is not on, will be 100% charged. So if I plug this into 110 on this charger, I can get to charging this thing up, even though it's enough now to run anything I need to run. Okay, we are plugged into a 110 volt AC outlet. This transformer here has a fan in it. You can see right here, and there's an exhaust on it too. I can actually hear the fan running. Not sure if you can on the video, but probably can if I hold it to my mic right here. But the fan's actually running on this. So we take this thing, plug it in. It's going to come up here and tell us that it's charging. You see the 80%, and then the 100% is blinking, which means it's not totally 100%. Once it gets that top bar lit up solid, we'll be full charge. You can see our input is 191 watts right now, so it's actually charging pretty fast. All right, guys, check this out. So I am running my Joy Tutus refrigerator right here. You can hear the compressor running maybe because of my microphone's right here. I'm charging my GoPro off the USB. I am charging this portable air compressor right here. I am charging my laptop. I am charging this DeWalt battery for my drills. I like to keep them charged up when we're out somewhere, and it's really handy to be able to charge all this stuff off this thing. And if you look at the screen right here, get to where I can see it, we are drawing 210 watts right now running all this. Even running this here is running off 110. Now I could run this off of 110 volt also, but I can tell you anytime that you can run something off 12 volt or 5 volt will be a lot better than trying to run it off 110, because what it does is you have to convert the power from this to 110 volt, and then that thing transfers it down to 12 volt. So you're better off to plug in directly to 12 volt, and it'd be a lot more efficient running it that way. And let's go ahead and just put my cell phone on there. Yep, it's charging now, 75% charge. So just, well, you can charge all this stuff, have your cell phone charging, and all this stuff. And now we are drawing 216 watts. So that's really good. This thing will pack a punch and charge a lot of stuff for a long time. My basic need is, when we're out camping, is to be able to run this portable fridge. I actually have 2 of these, and this thing fits the bill. It's going to run it a lot better than my Jackery because it's only a 500 watt. This 700 is going to be a lot better. Now I'd like to get something hopefully in the future from BLUETTI, like a 2000, something that's really going to run it, and I can run pretty much most of my stuff in my house with that. So if the power goes out, no need in having a gas generator. One thing awesome about these is when you're camping, I know when I go camping, there's a shut off time, usually about 10 o'clock at the campgrounds, where you have to shut off your generator. So if you have a gas generator running out there, there's a quiet time, 10 o'clock at night, you have to shut it off. Well, with one of these, silent. You don't have to. Even if you had to shut off your big generator, you can still run this and power everything you need to power. It'll run all your lights in your camper. It'll run all the lights in my house, actually. 2,000 square foot house, but everything is LEDs. This thing will run all the LEDs in this house, no problem. I can actually set this here, hook it up to my solar panel outside, and charge it during the day, run all my lights during the night, run my TV. How cool is that? I can charge all my GoPros and charge all my drone batteries. You can use this thing for a lot of stuff because the 110 power, the 12 volt power, the 5 volt, USB, absolutely superb deal. I'm going to be using this thing for a lot more videos and hopefully a lot more campouts, taking this BLUETTI with me. Got to give me a case to put it in. I don't like it being exposed like this. So I want to protect it in a nice case. And I need to check and see if BLUETTI has them. They may have cases for these, but I haven't actually checked yet. So super, super cool. I am going to post a link below for buying this BLUETTI. This is also a good price. For 700 watt, you won't beat the deal that you get out of BLUETTI's. So thank you guys for watching. Click the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to catch you all on the next one. Right on.